we're live. That is it. 9 p.m. Wednesday, and you know what? I got butterflies in my stomach because it's the first Q&A live lesson that we are going to have here at Fluent. I want to welcome everyone who is joining in because today I will be all alone. Oh my God. I will be all alone. No, I'm kidding. MC is right there waving. She's following the live too. She will be helping me follow up, keep up with the questions. And I want to welcome you all. Today is the day for you to ask the questions that you want to ask, you guys. If you want to ask permission to join the live, you know when you log in, and you have that little like pink button that you can press to ask permission to join in and ask your question. You guys feel at home, make yourselves at home and press that button, because if you want to come and talk to me and join in on the live just like MC does, that's what we're going to do today. Or you can also send your questions. You can type in your questions and send them, in Portuguese, in English, in written form too. As I mentioned before, as I told you guys this week, we're going to have a question and answer live today. So I'm here. I'm ready. I've never done this ever online. I'm a teacher. I have been a teacher for 14 years, face-to-face in the classroom, but this is my first time responding questions on the internet. And the internet can make you, feel little butterflies in your stomach. And that's what I'm here for today. This is the goal of the day. And I really wanted to do this, you guys. I was super excited for this night to come, for this night to arrive, because I want to know what you guys want to ask. Like, live, face-to-face or not. This is what I want us to exchange, this energy, and I want to be able to help you guys live, just like we're doing now. So if you have just arrived, bring your questions. Send anything, grammar, vocabulary, how to study. I don't know. I hate English. What do I do? My boss keeps asking me to speak English. I don't know where to start from. And I have some questions that were sent to me. I will also respond some of those, but I will prioritize you guys who are here on the live. While you are warming up your engines, thinking of the questions you might have, thinking of the problems you want to solve tonight, just, feel welcome to ask anything, as I said. And we have a participant. Larissa has sent a request to join in on the live. So let's welcome her in. Let's see, it's connecting. Is it working? I don't know. I don't know if she got the request that I sent. Okay, let's see. It's waiting for her to accept the request. Let's just wait a little bit longer to see if she can reply and accept the request. Let me see. Okay, try again then, Larissa. Okay, so we have the first question here by David. The difference between can and can't, the pronunciation there. Well, the difference is subtle, not that easy. What we have to do is emphasize the subject right before can, so we don't fall into the trap of saying, I can work, I can go. So you say, I can work, I can go, I can do this. It's a very, very short affirmative form. I can do this, I can work, I can't work, I can't do this. The T in the negative is not even that, present there. It's not even that strong. What is strong is the fact that it's long. But, you guys, even native speakers have trouble with that. You don't have to stress out, because I've already heard from native speakers, like, they when they're saying like can or can't, someone else will ask them, wait a minute, can or can't, can or can't. So it can happen with you too. So if it happens with you once, every now and then, it's okay. It can't happen all the time, of course, right? So let's take a look here Let's see, Larissa, let's see if I can get you connected now. And let's see if she got the request from me. Hello, Larissa.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you. You can
Hi,
speak
nice to meet you
Portuguese or
too.
English,
So
okay?
it's only now that the request popped up.
Okay, great, great. Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So actually, I know that you've talked about this before, but it's still a problem for me sometimes to find out if it's in or on. So
Okay.
maybe if you can refresh that.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Thank
In
you.
any specific situations or just in general, like
In
for
general.
the position? Okay. In terms of the basic concept of in and on, the position itself, I like to think of in as a little box that has walls around it, but it's hollow on the inside. So anything that you can picture that is like that, that has some kind of limit, you were going to say that you are in, or whatever you were talking about is in that box. So the examples can be a pocket, you know, that has a limit, and then you can put your hand in there. So the key is in my pocket, from the closet, from the car to the drawer, and to cities, countries, states, and continents, because they all have a limit. So that logic of in is usually followed by the logic of out. Uh, the logic of on is usually, I'm talking about the very, very basic idea of position, okay? There are a lot of other examples as well, but speaking of that, which is usually the problem, we can think of on as contact. Any surface is on. So if I am like riding a bike and I fall, I'm not going to say I fell out of the bike. I'm going to say I fell off the bike because I was on the bike. So the bike, I'm on the bike, I'm on the motorbike, I am the object, whatever is on the table or on the surface, any kind of surface. And when you extrapolate that a little bit, you can kind of find some associations that you can make, you know, throughout. I mean, when you get out of that very simple example of position, and then it helps to understand other situations where you need to use preposition on as well. The tricky thing about prepositions is we don't have one rule, like right, like you say, like it's in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, and at night. Like why, right? When we think rationally, it's pieces of the day, but yeah, one is an adverb, the other one, blah blah blah. So
Yeah, I was
if
going to ask the difference between in or at,
in
but
or
you just
at too.
mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing about at, I think, is the hardest preposition for us to understand, because we are Brazilians. It's because we don't have an at, you know, like an exclusive preposition for that kind of position. So
Yeah.
at, to me, is like you got a little box that actually doesn't have a wall. There is no in and out in that situation. Some people like to express that as a very specific position. So when you narrow it down, like for example, you have the day on, and then you have the hour at. The hour is more specific than the day. But to be honest, for me personally, that logic never really helped me. What helped me was basically associating the hour with at, the day with on, the week with in. And when it comes to physical position, I always think of at as that position that has no walls, that position that has no contact. When I am at a shopping mall, I have so many little places that I could be in that instead of focusing on that, I just say, I'm at the mall, no matter where I am.
Great
It's
tip.
more, it's actually more generic than specific, in my opinion. You know, it kind of
Got it.
goes more around that kind of concept.
Okay. Thank you
Did you
very
watch the
much.
video? Did you watch the prepositions
I
video?
have to go back and watch because I just
Yeah.
saw it was there and I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, but even maybe you saw just the short version that I posted, like a little 1 minute, 2 minute thing, or maybe you even watched the whole thing. But there is a lot of information there. It's a video that, you know, you watch one time and you still have questions, like you said, like, wait a minute, I forgot, what is it again? And it's totally okay, totally normal. Prepositions is a topic, in my opinion, that you always learn, you always study. Even, you know, I'm always studying it and reviewing it too, because when you learn a new expression, many times you have to know the preposition that is used with that new expression. So you're always expanding.
Thank you very much.
Did I help?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for participating. The
You're
very
welcome.
first participation here, ever
Yay.
in the history of Fluent For Real.
Great. See
Thank you
ya.
so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, okay, all right. She disconnected then. She was like, what do I do? I don't know, because I've never actually left a live like that. Okay, you guys, moving on, we have Carol. Dear Carol has requested to participate too. Let's invite her in. Carol is not just a dear follower because we studied together, but she's here almost every week. Come on. Oh, I can't believe
Hello.
I'm talking to you. I miss you so much.
You know who's right next to me? Larissa. She's my wife.
Oh, hi. She's your
I'm
wife?
serious.
I didn't know that. You know what? Because her last name is actually Pachi's husband's last name. So I thought that maybe there was some kind of, relative like, oh, Larissa, you're such a sweetheart. I love talking to you.
Thank you. I
So
have two questions.
Okay,
Can
go
I
ahead.
have two questions?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Okay. So the first one is about oral presentations. I guess that's my major problem. Sometimes when I forget that specific word that I'm supposed to say, my mind just goes blank and I just can't move away from that. So are there any tips on how to improve oral presentations?
When you blank one specific word, like let's say you forgot a noun or you forgot just one word, okay? That happens to me a lot too. Even in Portuguese, I go like oh, and I realize that when I'm informally speaking, I just go coisado, trenzado because I am from Minas, right? And so are you. But when you are in a serious situation, professional, you can't do that. What you can do is go one step back and restart your sentence. Begin the sentence again, because your brain will probably find another way of getting there. Because the way you constructed, maybe you need a noun. If you reconstruct the sentence, you might just transform that into an action, and then you find another verb, you find another way of getting there, So go back one step and start the sentence again. That could help. Give it a try and let me know. Okay. But there are a lot of techniques that is even a cool topic to think of, to make a video, a lesson, a richer lesson, so you guys can get to know a little bit more about some techniques that can help in that kind of situation.
Good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Do you have another question now?
Yeah. So I think the second thing is whenever, I've had my paper proofread by a native speaker a couple of times. And the number one thing he always says to me is you use a lot of commas and your sentences are too long. I guess that's from Portuguese. We tend to do that, especially, scientific papers. And is there a rule of using commas that is different in Portuguese? How I don't know how to fix that.
Yeah, the number one thing that that it will help you is making the sentence shorter. Making them shorter, not getting too many clauses. Like a clause is a part of a sentence that has a subject, a verb, and a complement. In a conditional sentence, for example, you automatically will have two clauses. So if I have time, I will meet you. Automatically you have two. But if you start putting conjunctions and you start connecting them, like if I have time, I will meet you. If I have time, I will meet you. Even though I am pretty sure that I won't have time, and also I have my family to call and give attention to. But we do that in Portuguese, and we end up writing 2 or 3 lines. That's gonna force us to use a lot of commas. So if you start reducing your sentences, and then you put a period there, from there you put the conjunction. However, on the other hand, in addition to that, and then you can include the conjunction, but after a period. That's going to help you, start solving that problem. But the rules of punctuation in English are very different from Portuguese, and the commas are not as necessary as they are in Portuguese for sure. But those rules they're kind of like the spelling rules or the pronunciation rules that are not so like there's not one thing that I can tell you now that's going to solve your problem. But I will definitely also put that on my list to make a video about that kind of problem, because since we are talking about professional situations, writing emails, writing articles, academic or business like, right, situations, that is a great thing to know, because whatever, if we pause too much or if we don't pause at all, if we don't use commas or if we overuse them, the reader will have trouble understanding us. That's definitely something to teach you guys, to mention here in one of our videos.
Cool. Thank
so
you.
I promise to get back to you on the specific techniques about comma, the rules about punctuation, you know, not just comma, but semicolons, periods, and so on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining in.
Yeah.
It was great to see you. And thank you for coming and for joining in every week, actually, right? Because you're always here with us.
Well, I learned a lot. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Bye-bye, girls. Bye, Larissa.
Bye.
All right, you guys. I can see there's one little question popping here for me. Let me see what happens if I click here. Oh, okay. Those are the... Okay, someone is sending me. Just testing. Awesome. Well, Ma, actually, I have a question here from Ma that she sent to me today. I posted something on stories, and I'm going to respond her question now. Okay. Well, you guys, just to reinforce, you don't need to ask the questions in English, okay? You can send the questions in Portuguese. Don't worry about it. Speak to me in Portuguese. I'll reply in English, and you can send the questions in Portuguese too. Feel at home, guys. I want to help you however you want to be helped. Okay, so just before MC is sending me the questions, okay, guys? So if I don't see them, don't worry, because she's sending me the questions here by WhatsApp, and then I will respond. Hopefully everything. So one of the questions that I received was from Manavarro, and she asked me, I believe it's a trivial question, but I would like to know when to use everybody, everyone, and if I can apply for the others, like someone, somebody, anyone, anybody, and so on. Let me test. I want to see if I can hear. Yes, I am so smart. Look what I did. Okay, this is the question that I am responding right now. So this question is from Ma, and there is no such thing as a trivial question. There is no such thing as a stupid question. I just want to start off with that. Second of all, you guys, the words everybody, everyone, everything, or every time you use the word every time, every place, that's a singular idea. Even though you are talking about a group, the idea is singular. So one thing is you need to use the verb in the singular. Everyone is here. Everything I need, everything that I do is necessary. So you have to use the verb in the singular. Pay attention to that because a lot of people don't do it. And as in relation to someone, anyone, anybody, I don't know if that's what you asked, but everybody, everyone are synonyms. Anybody, anyone are synonyms. There's no difference. But thinking about some and any, also a common mistake is using them incorrectly, because when I am thinking about some, I am thinking about something not so specific. Something, someone, not a specific person, not a specific object. And when I'm talking about any, that means no matter which, I have no idea which. So I usually use any in the negative form or in the questions. So I say, do you know anyone in Brasilia? Any person, no matter which person. I'm not going to ask, do you know somebody? If I want to say, no matter who. I'm going to ask some when I have that idea of a certain quantity or in a specific, but it's a more positive idea. So usually when you ask out of the blue, you just ask, hey, do you know anyone in Brasilia? And no, I don't know anyone in Brasilia. Oh, actually, I know someone. I have some friends there. Basically, okay, that's generically speaking, that's the concept that we have to pay attention to. And we don't use the negative verb with no. I say, I know nobody in Brasília. I don't know anybody in Brasília. I have to change the verb. If I use any, I don't know any. If I use no, I have to say, I know, in the affirmative form. I know nobody there. I have no idea. I don't have any idea. That's also a common mistake. A lot of people say, I don't know nothing. I don't know nobody. And no, I don't know anybody, and I know nobody. You have to pay attention to that. I hope I responded your question. Let's see a live question here. Okay, is but informal? But considering an academic environment, because I know that you work, this is a question from MCVM Starling, who happens to be my cousin, my dear cousin, Maria Clara. Well, considering the academic environment, yes, but would be considered an informal conjunction. If you are presenting, if you're speaking to an audience, you know, you should avoid that. Let me just remove the picture. You should avoid that. But it's like you can't live without it. It's a very basic, you know, necessary conjunction. And the thing about formal and informal is there's a thin line. If you are too formal, you sound arrogant, you sound distant, you sound cold. If you are too informal in the professional environment, you may sound, I don't know, what do you guys think? To me, when someone is too informal, it sounds like inappropriate, not so serious, maybe hiding something, like hiding some kind of insecurity, maybe, I don't know, or just being inappropriate, really, because maybe they don't have the structure, the vocabulary that is required. But I wouldn't say that but is informal, all right? It's kind of like everyday basic for all situations. However, if you want to show that you have more vocabulary than but, you will keep it aside, you will drop it for a while and use other conjunctions. Okie dokie. Let's see, who else? Okay, how to study at home? Simone asked me the question, how to study at home? Do you have any tips? Well, actually, yeah, it's very hard to live without but, actually impossible. How to study at home alone? Do you have any tips? I do. When you study at home alone, you will have a tendency, you will be very prone to studying passively, reading a lot, and listening to videos and passively learning that content. And we really have to also worry about the active form of learning, which is speaking, producing language, and, you know, the output of the language. So one tip that I give to you guys, to me, it made a difference. Ever since I have never said this. This is something new. I was actually planning on telling you guys this on a video. Ever since I started Fluent, and I started filming myself, obviously, you know, and watching myself because I'm the one who edits the videos. I started realizing that, for example, some words that in my head I was pronouncing correctly, when they came out and when other people heard it, the sound was not as nice as I would like it to be. So I was able to start to correct myself too, you know, in terms of details, very, very small details. But to me, they made a big difference, right? I mean, to what I expect my English to be, to what I want my English to be, it did. So when you speak, and if let's consider you don't have anyone to speak to, produce language, film yourself, and then watch it. You will gain confidence. You will see yourself in the camera. And trust me, I've been on camera for some years, not just here at Fluent, because I have another Instagram that I talk about makeup and stuff. I've already told you guys this in the first video. And so I'm used to seeing myself in camera, and it helps a lot. You know, you get used to your voice. You realize that you're not so bad. Like, oh, my voice is weird. I look strange. And you can hear yourself and correct yourself. Because when you are speaking, it's too many things to pay attention to. You can't pay attention to that many things. So you end up making mistakes, of course, but if you can listen to yourself again, you can correct yourself and realize what you're, where you are dropping the ball. So that would be about the speaking part, okay? How to study at home. And also, one thing that you can do is there are some very good grammar books, and I can recommend one specific. I forgot the name, but I can leave it later. That has a lot of online exercises too, and you can exercise, do exercises and correct yourself in terms of grammar by following one of those books. You have a beginning, you have an end, you have chapter after chapter, and you have answers. You can do the exercises and also correct them, because I am a true believer in correct grammar. I believe that we really need to work on that in order to speak correctly. Communicating is the goal, but if we communicate with mistakes, some kind of pollution and some kind of communication disruption will take place, will happen, and we don't want that to happen. With the English that we need, professionally speaking, the world will require that we speak very correctly, right? So we want to reduce the mistakes as much as we can. All right. Okay, well, thank you. Following Fluent For Real is a great tip. Thank you very much. We really hope that is that is true. Okay, how do I compliment a coworker? Carol is sending here. Always say good job, and seems like I'm talking to my dog. Well, I always say that the first step is awareness. So you are aware that it feels like you're talking to your dog. You guys, you know what? Friday we have something new. We have something coming up that is, Carol guessed it. One of the things that we're going to teach is how to compliment someone, how to encourage them, and say, hey, good job, but in a different way. But I'm going to say something else that's not going to be in that video. Let's say here, something, I even posted about this recently, something like, I appreciate your hard work. If you are in the position of the boss, or if the person works with you, so you depend on what they do, so you can say, I appreciate what you've done. Congratulations. Of course, congratulations is like, but you will need it forever. I appreciate what you have done. Something a little more informal. Let's say, good job. I'm trying to think of something a little more informal, not to sound too, bossy or too distant. Good job. Way to go. More informal. Way to go. But you have to see, who the person is and if it fits. If something more informal fits. But you could say, way to go. Yeah, MC just sent it. Ooh, the synchrony, honey. Oh my gosh, it just got here, your message. You rock. Well, you rock it. If you have a great friend at work, you know what, you rock. You nailed it. That's a good one too. Thank you guys. You guys are so awesome. See, that's how you practice. How you practice recalling your vocabulary. That's a great exercise too, you guys. Pulling from your memory. We are very used to Googling everything, and we don't exercise our memory as much as we could. So recalling vocabulary is awesome. I'm going to move on to one of the questions that was previously sent. I'm going to put it on the screen here so you guys can see it too. One of them was, are there any rules like the one in Portuguese, antes de P e B, that we should know of? Spelling rules and pronunciation rules in English are a great thing. Not to say, something a little bit beep. So the thing is, I brought 3 here, okay? 3 things. And this question was asked by Raiza, a good friend of mine too. And so she sent this question, and I brought 2 examples that are very, let's say, easy to understand, because it's something we see a lot. The first example I've already mentioned is the sibilant sounds followed by ES. Every time you put a plural, like couch, couches, watch, watches, you need to put the ES. because that last syllable that sounds like sh or ch, it requires the es. But also in the simple present, with a verb like watch, I watch, she watches, we have to include the yes. Wash the clothes, I wash, she washes. And that implies also that we need the pronunciation of the IZ, is, watches, washes. And we have a video about that. One of the live lessons that MC and I hosted here is about that. So that spelling rule is one thing that you can trust. And another one is the double consonant. When you have a consonant, a vowel, and a consonant at the end of the word. For example, big, the word big, B-I-G. Anything that you do with that word, like a comparative, bigger, you necessarily have to double the G. So you can think like this: consonant, vowel, consonant, double the last consonant. When the end is consonant, vowel, consonant, double the last consonant. Big, bigger, thin, thinner. Comparatives, that happens with comparatives. Swim, swimming. Shop, shopping. It happens with the ing too. The ed in the past. Shop, shopped. Stop, stopped. You have to double the p because it's consonant, vowel, consonant. And when you transform a verb into a noun, like a swimmer, shopper, you also have to double the p at the end, shopper, and double the m of swimmer. So consonant, vowel, consonant, double the last consonant. That is a good tip. Maybe I can even funk it. Hey, Alaki, don't you want to remix my little tip, my little reminder, my little song? Okay. I wish MC were here with me so she could laugh, you know. Maybe I would feel it was funny. Okay, you guys. Any more questions here? Okay, double the L for adverbs only when the word already has an L, like real, really, additional, additionally. Okay, that's a good tip too. One more question that was asked by you guys beforehand. Oops, not this one. Okay. I think this is the last one. Last one. MC said she's laughing at home. Okay, this is the last one that I'm going to refer to today. Como perder a vergonha de falar inglês? Well, that's actually the first time you guys hear me speak Portuguese, right? Who sent this question here was Taveira Larissa. My husband has arrived home. Hello. Taveira Larissa sent the question. And you know what? You guys are probably, or many of you guys probably have this problem, or most of the people you know probably have this problem, you know. And to be honest, it's one of the biggest challenges of a teacher, how to get the students to feel confident enough not to be embarrassed to speak English. And you know what? I have a beginner's tip. I have like, let's start from here. You know how when you learn how to ride a bike, imagine that your mom or your dad took you off-road to the middle of nowhere where, you know, the terrain was all bumpy and full of holes. You would never learn how to ride a bike. We have to learn how to ride a bike on a very smooth surface, like the streets. The same thing happens with English. Don't push yourself into speaking English, you know, to a boss or in a job interview if you're not confident enough. Start from the simple. You can start talking to people that you are familiar with, friends, people you know, and don't be embarrassed, you guys. Friends are the people that like you. Get a friend who you know is also learning how to speak English, or maybe that speaks amazing English. Maybe he can talk to you, you know, and practice a little bit with you too. Build your confidence little by little, but don't expect to speak perfectly at once and quickly. Oh, I will always speak English. I will only speak with anyone if my English is perfect. You need to listen to yourself. You need to hear yourself speak. So you can build your confidence. How? By recording yourself, by speaking and shooting yourself. Use your phone. Nowadays, we have so many tools that we can use for that, you know, and start with start by recording yourself, build your confidence like that, watching yourself speak English and correcting yourself. Someone that you know that you're familiar with, a classmate if you are in a group is also someone that is on the same, you know, on the same page as you, in the same boat, suffering the same issues. That can also help you build your confidence. And you know what? I have an idea of a project that is people gathering up once a month and only speaking English. You know, friends, people that live in the same city, and creating a little immersion atmosphere, a little immersion moment there. Because we always think and we always repeat this thing of, I have to live abroad in order to speak English. Why don't we create the moment? You know, coronavirus is here to prove to us that we have to be creative. We have to find solutions. If we can't go there, if we can't go abroad, what can we do then? How can we solve that problem? So let's be creative and use some other solutions, you know, to practice our English and to get where we want to get. Okay, so those are some initial tips, but I have so many things that I would like to tell you guys about how not to be embarrassed and how to gain confidence and actually put your English out there. And because it's the only way that you have to improve, you know, there's no other way to improve your English but to speak English. And I would like to end tonight's live lesson. That was awesome, you guys. I just loved having you guys here, joining in on the live, sending questions, and, you know, actually joining in. And I was super happy. And what do I want to tell you guys? That on Friday, we have something new coming up. We are going to post. Let's wait. MC's joining in because we are both here to tell you what is going to happen on Friday. Something awesome.
Guess who's back? Back again. MC is back. Tell a friend.
And she actually never left.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
So MC, I'm going to tell everyone now, okay, that on Friday we will have something really special posted. We're going to have a mini course that took a long time, you know, a lot of work, a lot of dedication, because we wanted it to be really awesome, and we really hope it is. On Friday, we'll be posting the first part of that mini course, so stay tuned, you guys. It's for free. It's a video, a lesson, so rich that and useful, because we were thinking about what could be, you know, the most useful lesson that we could teach right now, considering everything that we know about you guys, and you guys tell us every day. And that's what is going to come on Friday. So stay tuned, okay?
Yes, exactly. And you know what? Some of the questions here, I got so excited when I read them here. You know why? Because if you get our content that's going to be released on Friday, that's going to help you so much. It's going to be awesome, handy to you, and very useful.
Very
Don't
useful,
miss that.
Very practical. It was a hands-on guide, actually, right, that we created. So anyway, wait for it. Just wait. Hashtag wait for it.
Yay.
Thank you guys so much for joining in. We were so excited about this video. And we do have some questions that were not answered here tonight. Okay, I have, I think, 2 or 3. I will be responding them on stories because you guys were so awesome to ask and to send them that I don't want to leave them hanging. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. So I will be responding them tomorrow. And thank you so much for joining in. MC, it was awesome. Thank you.
Oh, and great lipstick choice.
Whoa. Oh, thank you. You too.
Thank you. Okay,
bye
everyone.
Bye, guys.
Keep with us. Keep up with the good work. Yes. And be fluent for real.
Bye-bye.